Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff defeats Marie Bouzková in 2 sets to advance in French Open. Coco Gauff needed just 2 sets to triumph over Marie Bouzková. In the 3rd round of the French Open on Saturday, the American sensation swept the opposition 6-1, 7-6 to advance to the 4th round at Roland-Garros. Gauff established an early lead in the first set before Bouzková appeared to rally back from the deficit. Gauff eventually sealed the deal in the first to head into the second with the lead. In the second, Bouzková went up 2-0 as Gauff looked to rally back. After Gauff closed the lead to 2-1, Bouzková kept inching away, going up 3-1. Just when Gauff looked like she was about to drop her first set in the French Open this year, she climbed up to tie the set 5-5. The thrilling back and forth concluded in dramatic fashion as the world know. 2 successfully rallied back to take the victory. Gauff's display of composure won her 6th straight set at Roland-Garros. However, it proved to be the most challenging for her so far after beating Olivia Gadicki in 2 6-2 sets in the first round and Teresa Valentova 6-2, 6-4 in the second. In the 4th round, Gauff will face her first-ranked opponent No.20 Ekaterina Alexandrova from Russia. Like Gauff, the 30-year-old is yet to see a 3rd set in the tournament with dominant wins over Lucia Bronzetti, Elisabetta Cocciaretto, and Veronika Kudermetova. Gauff and Alexandrova will meet on June 2 to play for a spot in the quarterfinals. The crimson clay beneath her feet bore the weight of legacy, of dreams, of champions past and yet to come. On a sun-dappled afternoon in Paris, Coco Gauff stepped onto court Susan Lenglen, with a fire behind her eyes and a racket in her hand that promised artistry and aggression in equal measure. By the time the final ball was struck, an unreturnable backhand down the line that sent the crowd into a rhythmic applause, Gauff had dismantled Marie Bouzková in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4, sealing her place in the next round of the French Open, with the kind of cool composure that belies her age but defines her ascent. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Rising star meets iron will. Coco Gauff has never fit neatly into the box of rising star. From the moment she burst onto the global stage as a 15-year-old defeating Venus Williams at Wimbledon, she was treated not as an apprentice, but a prodigy, a symbol of tennis's next generation. Now 21, she plays with a poise born of trials and titles, of setbacks and resurgences. Marie Bouzková, by contrast, is the tour's quiet grinder. A Czech counterpuncher with a mind as disciplined as her game, she is known for taking matches into deep waters, forcing opponents to fight for every inch of court. And yet today, she found herself adrift in Gauff's wake, the match tilting not just on technique, but on sheer momentum. Gauff played like the clay belonged to her. The match unfolds. Poetry in points. The match began with Bouzková serving. Her high ball toss silhouetted against the Parisian sun. She held the first game with clinical efficiency, painting the lines, controlling the tempo. For a brief moment, it seemed the Czech had come prepared to test Gauff's patience, but Coco wasn't waiting. She was already hunting. Gauff responded with a love hold, punctuated by a 115 miles per hour ace down the tee that left her opponent rooted. The rhythm of the match shifted. Coco's ground strokes, laced with topspin and purpose, forced Bouzková behind the baseline, defending rather than dictating. By the 4th game, the American had broken serve with a blistering cross-court forehand, followed by a fist pump that echoed through Lenglen's intimate arena. She's not just hitting winners. Commentator Mary Carrillo noted from the broadcast booth. She's composing symphonies out there. Set 1 was wrapped in 38 minutes. Gauff's athleticism and shot selection too varied, too venomous. Bouzková never gave in, but she couldn't break through. The Czech's hallmark consistency was overrun by Coco's relentless pace and net aggression. In a moment that drew collective gasps, Gauff chased down a drop shot and flicked a winner past her opponent with the kind of footwork usually reserved for dancers or dreamers. Between sets, composure of a champion. As the players sat for the changeover, Coco sipped water and stared straight ahead. Not at her box, not at the scoreboard, but at the red dirt beneath her shoes. It was a quiet moment, but telling. There was no anxiety, no distraction, just intent. Her coach, Brad Gilbert, leaned forward slightly, offering a thumbs up. No words, none needed. Her coach, Brad Gilbert, leaned forward slightly, offering a thumbs up. No words. None needed. Bouzková, meanwhile, adjusted her strings and wiped sweat from her brow. She wasn't rattled. She's too experienced for that. But she was searching. The game plan had to change. Gauff wasn't giving her space to breathe. Set 2. A tug of momentum. Bouzková came out swinging in the second, her shots finding sharper angles, her serve producing more depth. For a stretch, the Czech took a 3-1 lead, buoyed by a pair of Gauff unforced errors and a beautifully disguised drop shot that brought the crowd to their feet. But Gauff is no longer the teenager who rides emotional highs and lows like a roller coaster. This Coco has steel in her veins. She broke back immediately with a stunning defensive display that turned into a fence in the blink of an eye. Sliding, retrieving, attacking, she did it all. At 4-4, with the match teetering, Gauff dug into her return game. She read Bouzková's serve like a well-worn book, stepping in and punishing a second serve with a forehand return winner that clipped the sideline. The break was hers. Serving for the match at 5-4, Gauff didn't blink. An ace, a rally won with a deft volley, a booming forehand. And then, match point. The crowd hushed. She bounced the ball once, twice. Served. The backhand down the line whistled past Bouzková before she could pivot. Game, set, Gauff. A clay court evolution. It's tempting to see Gauff as a hard court force. Her U.S. Open win in 2023 forever etched in the American sporting psyche. But clay? That's a surface that demands patience, guile, and improvisation. In Paris, Gauff is proving she has it all. Her movement on clay is now fluid and instinctive, her point construction deliberate. She isn't just adjusting to the surface, she's mastering it. And with every match, she reminds us that greatness isn't static, it evolves. Gauff's statistics from the match underlying her dominance. First serve points won, 78%. Winners, 28. Unforced errors, 14. Break points converted, 3 of 5. I feel like I'm finally understanding this surface, Gauff said in her post-match interview, still catching her breath. Red dust staining her shoes and socks. It teaches you to think, to be patient, but also to know when to strike. That balance is something I've been working on. The Parisian Pulse. As Gauff waved to the crowd, children leaned over the railings hoping for autographs, while adults cheered with a fervor usually reserved for hometown heroes. Paris has a habit of adopting players, not by birth, but by brilliance. And make no mistake, Gauff is earning that embrace. She plays with a maturity that goes beyond age, and a joy that's infectious, said former champion Justine Henin in a French television segment. She respects the game but isn't afraid to bend it to her will. Back in the locker room, Gauff would ice her legs, watch footage, and ready herself for the next challenge. But for the fans walking out of the gates under a dusky Paris sky, this day was about more than tennis. It was about witnessing a player stepping fully into her power. The road ahead. With this victory, Gauff advances to the 4th round, where tougher battles surely await, perhaps a rematch with an old rival or a clash with a seeded clay specialist. But no one in the draw will be eager to see her on the other side of the net. Not now. Not with this rhythm. The French Open has a way of revealing not just talent, but tenacity. It has crowned queens who bleed for every point and survive marathon matches under rain-delayed skies. Gauff, still so young, already wears that aura, not of someone hoping to win, but of someone who expects to. She's not just a story anymore. She's a force. Postscript. In a tournament built on tradition, Coco Gauff brings something electric, something modern yet timeless. Her presence on court is more than the sum of strokes and scores. It's the evolution of the women's game happening in real time. And as Paris blooms around Roland-Garros, subdued is Coco Gauff, undaunted, unyielding, and undeniably on the rise.